Things we wish we could say out loud. There are so many things we think every day but never actually say out loud, whether it's about family, relationships, or just how we really feel. Some thoughts just stay in our heads. Hey guys, welcome back to Cha, Chaos, and Chill. I'm Jazz.
I'm Harp.
Where we talk about life, the mess, and everything in between over a cup of cha. And today we're saying things we usually don't. So for me, I usually keep it in. I don't really say things out right away.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do the same thing too, but I've learned that it might hurt somebody, but you have to voice it out because at the end of the day, you're just gonna hurt yourself even more.
Don't you think sometimes when you say it out loud that you'll regret what you say, or after you say it, you regret what you said out loud?
Sometimes, yes, because with me, it could come off, my tone of voice sometimes comes off as being rude, but when I'm not trying to be rude, and I get misunderstood a lot. So then I'm like, it's not what I'm trying to say, or I'm not trying to get, the words don't come out properly, or what I'm trying to say, and it's just and then you're just you know what, just screw it, just leave it alone.
Sometimes that's me, I'll say something, I want to say it out loud, but then I'm like, it doesn't even make sense now I say it out loud because I think something else in my brain, and then when I say it, it's not the same.
Right? You make sense in your brain. You're like, okay, this is what I want to say, but when the words start coming out, you're like, that is not what I was thinking.
And then I'm halfway through, I'm like, oh, never mind. Ignore me.
Cancel that thought. Cancel, delete. Right?
So sometimes, when I want to say something out loud, I always feel oh, what if it offends the other person? That's why sometimes I don't say it, or sometimes I'm I don't want to be the rude person.
No, I get what you mean, but I feel like sometimes you just have to know, even if they do get offended, right? Because if you don't tell somebody something, they'll never know. Right? If you keep holding it in, and it's gonna and it's gonna blow up at one point. And then it's gonna cause a big issue if you don't say it out loud.
But will the other person listen? Because they're gonna be it's my territory kind of thing, or this is the way I want it, or
I mean, they should, but I know it's hard for them to listen sometimes. So you just have to kind of make subtle adjustments yourself. If they're doing something that you don't want them to do, then you need to either, I don't know, put a lock on your door, or change the way you do things. You know what I mean?
But yeah, you'd never want to hurt the other person's feelings, but then you do want the other person should understand when they say something they're also hurting your feelings as well. You're also a human being.
Yeah, if they think, if someone's always nagging at you for not doing something properly or their way, it's well, maybe this person likes to do it this way, and then they need to adjust too. But I feel like in our society nowadays, I think people are way too soft, and I think we grew up with that tough love, right?
But I know a couple girls who I'm gonna say they don't stand for anything. They'll talk back to even their spouses. But they're not soft, I would say.
But talking back to your spouse or your mother or your father, whoever it may be, I think that is also wrong. You shouldn't, why are you talking back to your spouse? Yeah, okay, maybe if you bicker back and forth, that's just your guys' norm, that's your playful fightingness, whatever, that's just what you guys do. But if you're constantly just screaming, yelling, swearing at them, and then talking back to family, I feel like that's how relationships get ruined, especially in a family setting.
Yeah, because your family has an expectation about you and stuff like that, how you should be.
Yeah, especially around your family. If you're, I could never talk back to my mom or my mother-in-law, my father, anybody, even my husband. I go with my husband, whatever, every couple fights. That's just completely normal, right? But I would never everyday talk back to any of them.
I feel like I would get slapped if I disrespected my parents or my in-laws. I feel like
Right.
I would get like slapped. Like, I'm sorry, growing up, I was taught not to talk back to the elders.
Respect your elders, exactly. Right? I wish I could say stuff that I'm feeling without, like you said, without offending anybody, right? Like, there are certain things, like, I think every girl wants to run their house a certain way. But then when you get so many people living together, you have to kind of adjust to everybody. And I know mine in my family, they kind of just let me do whatever I want. Like, okay, I'm putting this up, I'm doing this decoration, I'm doing that. And they know. And I let them do whatever they want to, right? And it's just the way our family works. But there are people out there that it's their way or no way.
Yeah, I know some people who are like that. It's like either it's my way or no. If you don't like it, then leave.
Yeah, and that's not an answer either. Like, just, oh, if you don't like it, well, then leave. Well, no, we're here as a family and we need to work together, right? And I feel like in families, like especially in our culture, I think the women are. I feel like we're like sometimes suppressed on how we can express ourselves in our settings. And you don't, like you said, you don't want to offend anybody, but then if you're trying to express something, you get misunderstood.
I feel like after like us girls, when we get married in our culture, it's just like we have that pressure on us to be like this perfect, perfect, perfect daughter-in-law. It's just like the whole family is like always telling you this thing, never talk back, never disrespect your elders, always listen. If someone says something, just ignore it, just be quiet.
Yeah, but that is embedded into us, but then I feel like we need to at least stick up for ourselves to some extent as well. We can't just keep letting people degrade us on things, right? Like, oh, you should be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. Well, why not? Right? Why can't I voice my opinion, or why can't I do things my way? Right? Why do I need to just do it their way or whoever's way? You know what I mean?
Everyone in the family should just all be on one page. Like, it shouldn't be like my way or your way. Like, they need to step back at some point because there's sometimes you want to say something, but you can't.
Yeah. I know at the beginning when you're like a newlywed or you're just learning about the family because you just moved in.
The honeymoon stage.
The honeymoon, well, sometimes there is no honeymoon stage, right? You're trying to get a feel for everybody, but at some point you do have to stick up for yourself and you have to start voicing your opinion because you're not going to just keep going on with in life like that. You're going to go insane, you're going to go crazy, and one day it's just going to blow up and it's going to make things even worse. Because if you don't voice your opinion, yeah, people are going to get mad or they won't talk to you for a day or two, but at least you got out what you were feeling.
Some people hold grudges, though. I feel like if you get what you want, if you say what you want, and they'll just hold a grudge against you. Be like, oh, like you said this date, this time, at this location.
Just let them. Then you're not gonna get in. You're not gonna get through life if you're just gonna keep holding grudges like that, right? If someone wants to hold the grudge, just let it be. That's on them. Like, that's how you want to live. Go ahead, right? But I feel like in our society, it is harder. I feel like because we get taught, like, not like us, like, because we're born here. I think we're a little bit different. Maybe the people with like the older mentality.
People think so. I don't know if you know this, but I'm born here in Canada. But people think the way I act, like speak Punjabi, the way I act, make jokes and stuff like that. I know a lot about Punjabi culture. They think I'm born in India.
Dude, me too. I get it all the time. But then I also get like, I'll be like somewhere, like just the other day this happened. I was in the gym and because I write like everything down in like I have like a workout book, right? And I write down my reps and all my weight and stuff like that. And I was writing this, these guys were like, "Oh, are you writing it out?" I'm like, yeah, right. And I started talking Punjabi because I could tell they were like struggling with English. And they looked at me and they're like, "You're Punjabi?" And I'm like, they're like, "We thought you were white." They're like, "Study English, we mock jaldi sikhi."
That's what my husband's grandma will always be like. So she compares me to you a lot.
Oh my
Or she'll call
God.
me by your name sometimes, but
Yeah.
now she's good at it. So she'd be like, you're born here. You know, you're like born in India, but you act like you wear clothes like you're from here. And I was like, she's like, your hair's short like Harpreet's hair. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm similar to her.
Hey, it's a good thing, right? It's good to be like that. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, we do have that. Everybody has that little bit of dissiness in them, right? But like, back to like what we're trying to say is that in our culture, like our moms or back like certain people, like the older generation, were taught like, oh, you don't talk back. You just kind of go with the way anybody is. If they say anything to you, just kind of brush it on the table and this and that. But I feel like that's wrong because it causes your mental health, right? Especially these days, people are going crazy, and yeah, it's gonna cause a fight, so be it, but like I said, at least you're getting it out.
With the mental health thing, like I find in our like culture and stuff like that, society, like mental health isn't brought up that much in our culture. I find a lot of like I'm not being rude or anything here, but a lot of brown kids just brush it off. Like
Oh,
you see
absolutely.
those TikToks like the kid would be like have depression, oh here study or here do this. Like
Or chapilo,
yeah.
right? But it's on it. But if your child or anybody, even if it's an adult or whoever, is coming up to you and saying, "Hey, I'm feeling this way," or something's bothering me, we as a society or anybody should sit down and listen to them because at the end of the day, it could go worse. It could be a tragedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just like I feel like we all need to understand like it plays a big toll on the girl in the family. Like you got to look at her mental health. Like how long can she be quiet for? Like how long can it be? And then like that plays a role with like your partner. Like he should be there for you from with everything. Like from day one.
Absolutely, they should be, right? And then I feel sometimes what we do is if we can't say something to somebody in our household or anybody, we should be able to tell our spouses without judgment, right? They should be on our side and they should listen, be like, hey, look, this is what's bothering me. I don't want to say it in front of you, but can you talk to the person and let them know that I want it this way?
And then they should speak up. They shouldn't be quiet or just ignore it. I feel like they should speak up and be like, hey, okay, this is bothering her. Like, can we just all discuss, like, as a family? Like, we can do like a family meeting or something.
Yeah, good luck. Would you be able to have a family meeting in an East Indian household?
Yeah, no. I'm just thinking, I'm wrong. Doing a picture scene, some things go through my mind. I say it out loud. Like,
That will never happen. I mean, if everybody's on the same page, maybe. But if you were to sit down together, I think everybody would just start talking over each other. You would be not even having what you want to discuss, and it'd be you'd be doing a 360 somewhere else.
half the people will be on their phone
They would
watching
just send them
TikTok.
to India. Or somebody would be sitting on TikTok or someone's on live on TikTok and they're just like, what? This is not what we're here to talk about. But anyway, no, like on a serious note here, like, we as girls, even guys, like we try to say things out loud without hurting anybody or offending anybody, but sometimes you have to have that tough love. You have to get it out in the open, then that way people know like, hey, this is what's going on with her. We need to work with that person.
I feel like the other person should also like look at the person's like body language. Like if you said something that offended, or if like let's say I say something to you and like you're ignoring me, that should be a sign to you like, hey, maybe I said something, maybe something went wrong. Like let me try fixing it.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And because sometimes when you're trying to express yourself, like we said earlier, the words sometimes don't come out as the way you want them to come out. They may come out as being offensive, or you might get out the wrong word, or you use the wrong word, and you're just like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. You're trying to say this, but then then you end up just putting words in each other's mouths. Everybody just starts fighting, and then you're like, this
It
is
just
not.
escalates way more than like it needs to be at that point.
Yeah,
Like
so then you just let it
World
go.
War III will happen at that point.
Exactly. Then you just kind of let it go. And you're like, you know what? Is it even worth it? right? You're like, you know what? I'll just fix it myself and I'll just do what I want to do, right?
Is it worth it to waste your air breath that
Your
much?
energy, right? You're like, is it even worth it right now?
That's what I think to myself sometimes. I'm like, is it worth it to waste my energy? No.
No, it's not. But then how long are you gonna keep going on in life without saying anything?
So you know how you're saying like we're saying like your partner, you should be able to express things to your partner about stuff. Do you think that can cause like arguments between you and your partner?
Um, I think so sometimes because if you're trying to express something to your partner and like you said, like we said, if you get out like maybe the wrong word or you use the wrong word and they'll think something else or they'll totally twist it in their brain thinking, oh, this is what she's trying to say, and you're like, no, this is not what I'm trying to say, right? I'm just trying to express how I'm feeling, right? I know with like us, like I'm able to express myself with my husband and he'll listen, right? Especially with us in our like what in our situation, what we've been going through, with having kids, and he knows how I feel. I'm able to express that with him, and I'm able to express that with like my mother and my mother-in-law, and they're so supportive over that. So at least I kind of know that I can express myself. But there are sometimes certain things where I'm just like, okay, I kind of watch what everyone's going through, and I just hold back, like, you know what, I don't want to add that added stress to them,
Yeah.
right? So you just kind of hold it in, and you dwell in your own thoughts, and yes, it makes it worse for you because you're just sitting there in your own thoughts, and you're going mental, you're going crazy, and you're like, I just need to get it out. But then when you do get it out, you use the wrong words, and it causes an argument.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like that's why like whenever like I'm from my experience, whenever I have any issues like from work or it can be work, friends, or even like other like family issues, like I'll tell my husband, like I'll try telling him right away. I always play the situation, what's happening. Like if he's having a bad day, I'm not gonna put this on him.
Yeah,
And then by the time like third day comes, I'm like, oh, just leave it. Like I'm not gonna say
yeah.
it
And then
this way.
you just don't even you don't say anything, right? Because I know, like I know with me, like I've always been that kind of type of person where I hold everything in.
Yeah, I'm the same too. Like I will hold it in, and then I sometimes not gonna lie, just go up to my room and start crying.
Dude, I'll be honest, I did that today. You know, it being Mother's Day and everything. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was my first Mother's Day without my mom.
Yeah. Like you know, after I gave like my mom her flowers, my mother-in-law, and then, you know, the kids with their mom,
Yeah.
I went upstairs and just lost it.
It happens. Like I think we all go through that phase.
Yeah, so anyways, that was a bit of an emotional time for me today. And you know, like I said, you just hold it back, right? It's like, you know, small things that bother you, but you let it go.
Yeah, like you don't want like especially when you say like Mother's Day today is so hard. Like the last thing you want to do is actually cry in front of your mom or call her crying
Yeah.
because that just panics them more. So my mom's not in Vancouver, so like Winnipeg, she's gonna be scared. She's not gonna sleep. I'm probably gonna get her sick and end up in the hospital.
Right? No, I do the same. Like I don't like to add that added stress to like my mom or my parents or even
Yeah.
like anybody even because they all support us. They know the situation. I just don't, you know, I just don't want to, like you said, I don't want to add that added stress and freak them out. Right? So you kind of just go with it, and there's a lot of like small things like for me that I let go, and I'm just like, you know what, just it at the end of the day, it's not either. Yeah, it's gonna affect me or it's not. Just let it be.
Yeah, like I agree. Like there's so many small things I just let go. I'm like, there's no point right now. Like I'm not gonna argue about this. I'm not gonna bring it up. Like it's just like you should have known from this. You should have known what you did wrong. Like I'm not gonna bring it up.
Yeah, exactly, right? But then sometimes I feel like even if we do let go of the small things, um, they start building up,
Yeah.
right? And then when do you say, okay, enough is enough?
So like me and my husband got into an argument once. It was just like oh, the stupidest thing ever.
Happens to us all the time.
He was like, I gave him the silent treatment for like 2 days. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, I ignored him. I completely ignored him.
You should have been like, you should know.
It was over a shirt.
Oh my. Oh my God! Why he didn't put it away? The way
No,
you wanted?
I told him to go drop it off at the dry cleaner. He didn't do it.
Oh my God! So you didn't talk to him for 2 days?
He knew it was about the shirt too.
Should have just said I did it. Oh my God! Okay, I'm not that bad. We're not that bad. Okay, when I mean small, I didn't mean like that small, like tiny, stupid stuff.
I was like, hopefully he'll learn his lesson. But he actually learned his lesson now.
So that next time he takes the shirt,
No, now he knows if I say something even small to do, he'll do it.
he'll do it.
Yeah.
Does he want to give my husband some pointers?
At least you were saying how previous episodes, like how this picture frame
Yeah.
took your husband months to put up.
Yeah.
My husband learned something. Now I ask him to do something, he does it right away.
He does it right away. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, okay, your husband's home. My husband has a pass. He's on truck.
Yeah, that's true.
He has a pass. But when he comes home, like, here's a list of things you need to get done.
I always joke to my husband, I'm like, I'll give you a list of things on your day off because our days off are different.
Yeah.
I'm like, here's a list of things you can do while I'm off and it should be done. Actually, yesterday he did it. And after first time ever in 9 months, he cooked a dinner.
Oh, wow. Wow. I'm surprised he even cooked. That's good. Was it good?
Yeah, it was good. It was on the barbecue, but it was good.
Hey, still, it counts. You made dinner. Whatever. At least he did it. At least he can do it. Right? No, like, all the joking aside, I know we're kind of off on a different path here today. But, you know, even if we let things go, like, we do have that fear of starting arguments. Right? That's why you're just, sometimes as us women, we're just built like that. We're like, you know what? There's no point of, we just kind of stay quiet, or we try to say it in a way, like maybe indirectly, so it doesn't cause an argument, but then it ends up just being like, what are you trying to say? And then you like say it the right way, and they're like, oh, and then it just causes a fight. Right?
I always try avoiding like starting arguments because I'm like, there's no point. Like, I just want to keep everyone happy.
No, me too. At the end of the day, we all do, right? We do want to keep everybody happy, right? But then it's, oh, what about your own happiness? Right? How long are you gonna go in life without voicing your opinion or saying anything to anybody? Because they're gonna still think, oh, everything's going fine. This is how it's gonna be.
That's like, yeah, and then also like that's what society like always thinks, like the picture, like we don't know what's happening in someone's household. Like
No.
they think, oh, they're just one big happy family. They don't know what's happening inside.
Exactly. That's just it, right? Nobody knows what's going on behind closed doors, and how long does one person suffer then?
Yeah, it's like when you go, let's say you do have like beef with someone in your family, you go out, do you like pretend to be buddy buddy with them, or do you just like still have beef with them out in public, let society see? Because I do know someone, like a girl, like she doesn't get along with like her mother-in-law, but like when they go to family gatherings, like they're civil.
But so it's just, so that's basically, yeah, in society, right? That's
Yeah.
the expectation that, oh, on the outside, oh, look, we're going to show everybody we're buddy buddy or we're all okay.
Yeah.
But then, hey, once we're behind those doors, you go to your separate space and I'll go to my separate, and we're not going to talk to each other. Okay, see, that is wrong. I feel like that's not how a relationship should be.
I feel like that's normal in brown households though. Like sometimes you don't get along with someone, like you don't get along with your brother-in-law, your sister-in-law, but when you go out in public, you're like
civil.
buddy
You're
buddy though.
buddy,
Like you guys are taking pictures together, taking shots together, like stuff like that.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's true, but that's the expectation in our society then. But it shouldn't be that way. If you really feel like you don't, like, I know with me, I'm pretty straightforward. I don't beat around the bush about anything. I'll tell you flat out. I'm blunt like that. I take over my dad,
Which is good.
to some extent, right? Because it does cause arguments sometimes if I am too forward with something. I know if I don't talk to somebody, like even in it, like if there's family, whoever, friends that I don't talk to, and if we're out and about, yeah, I'll say hi, but I'm not gonna go out and start smiling and giggling with them and, have a full on conversation. Yes, I'll be civil and say hi. That's about it. You go your way, I'll go my way.
There's so like when it comes to like all this stuff that's happening in families, so this was like I don't want to mention names, but like this was in like
No, we don't want to get in trouble yet.
this is actually in Winnipeg. I know someone. We were invited, like everyone, this huge group was so close. We were all invited to like someone's house for a party. That person didn't show up because someone else was gonna be there. I'm like, really? Like, are you not gonna show up because someone else is gonna be there? Like, just grow up. Like, I know you guys have beef with each other, but you can't just put your differences aside and just like come and enjoy with everyone else.
Yeah, just come for that. You're there for somebody else. You're not there. They didn't invite you to your house or your party. You're there for somebody else who you guys have a friend in common. Just go there. You don't need to talk to them.
Yeah, like we just hang out with them. Like, yeah, say hi to them. That's it. You don't have to like drink jaw with them, have food with them. Just chill on a separate corner.
Yeah, we're not telling you to just like sit there and all of a sudden sit in their lap and be buddy with them, but it's just weird when people do stuff like that. But yeah, like that's how society like compares everybody, right? Like, oh look, they see like, oh, they're doing that, oh look at them, they're taking pictures together, they're like this, and like, oh, we should be doing that too, and this and that. But then we're like, well, no, we know the truth because behind closed doors they're doing this, they're just putting on a front for you. But then people start comparing that.
That's like what you were talking about like a few episodes back with all like influencers, like social media. That's exactly what's happening.
Exactly, right? Like, I know some people could say like, oh, even with your spouse, like you could be putting out all these pictures of you two. You guys are like, oh look, they look so in love and this and that, but then they could be fighting every single day. And you're like, well, on social media, I'm showing a different kind of persona, and then behind closed doors, we're different, right? Which isn't even. I know we don't do that. We're just we fight, we argue, whatever. It's normal.
Yeah, like I would say, like I've always been told, like from people and on social media, I've heard like never argue with their spouse in front of other people. Always argue behind closed doors. You don't want to disrespect them.
That's true. That is very true. But even if we like I said, fighting is normal. That's what makes a relationship. It helps you grow, right? Yeah, we do like to our spouse. We will say things that we wish we could say to others, but we just take it out on them instead. We're like, you know what? You're my punching bag today, and I'm saying it out to you.
Right? Sometimes
you're mad about something else. You're mad at somebody else. I know I've done that before too, where I'm so angry with somebody else that I end up taking it out on him. But I'm like, I'm not mad at you. You're just the one that I know I can just let it all out to.
Sometimes I get annoyed. I'll say something to my husband. I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. It's just because I was mad at something else or mad at something that happened at work. Yeah. And then I end up taking it out on him. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Right. No, but that's when you say, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at this person, so I'm taking it out on you.
You're just going to hear it. You're just going to say, you're just going to listen to what I'm going to say now.
You have to listen
Sometimes
to
I tell my husband to shut off his phone. I'm like, you're going to listen to what I'm going to say right now. I'm like, you're just going to listen to this story.
Right? Exactly. You need to listen to this. There's nobody else, so I need to unleash on you.
And then after I vent to him, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Now
we're good. Let's go eat.
Let's go get some job. Let's go for ice cream. I'm good. I just need to let that out. And then, yeah, they're usually like, okay, that I stopped paying attention after like 20 minutes of
that's like stuff like there's stuff like you could never say out loud, but then you say it to your husband just to vent it out. Like when you have an argument, like sometimes you want to say something straight to their face, but you can't say it.
Yeah, because you're afraid that but I do sometimes wish that we could say things out loud without zero consequences. Right? Sometimes, okay, I know I sometimes have a habit of swearing a lot. It's just normal to me. I feel like people these days born in Canada, it's just part of our vocabulary now.
Yeah, like the F word is always in someone's, like, even little kids are saying it.
Yeah, okay, that's just wrong. Little kids saying it is not right. But I feel like for us, like us older generation, like we just automatically it's just part of our conversation.
So with my with the way I am, like my cousins know this from Winnipeg. Like I'll say stuff to them, like I'll be like, we'll judge people's outfits and stuff like that. Not gonna lie, or like what they're wearing. We just say it. I'm like, oh my god, why is she wearing this? Why is she wearing this? But like, I can't say it out loud.
I know. I
Do you
totally.
get what I
I
mean?
get what you mean because yeah, we. I think we all do stuff like that.
Or
You know,
like,
we secretly judge and we don't want to say it out loud because we are afraid that they're gonna be like, oh. But then at the end of the day, like I know people. I'm sure people judge me too. Oh, look what she's wearing today. Oh, look how she's this, she's that, and I'm just like, you know what? I really don't care.
so like we went to the Gotora, me, my three cousins in Winnipeg, and like there's this. It was a very, very, very busy day. I was driving, and some guy got out of the parking lot and he gave me his parking spot. And then this girl comes and tried parking my spot, and I said something. And my cousin's like, "Mommy, roll down the window so you can say it to her." I was like, "No," I was like, "I cannot say it out loud."
See, okay, I would. My husband always he gets mad at me all the time when I'm like doing something that's like, you know, like story of like you have this, why do you do that? He's like, you know, they can see you doing that, right? I'm like, I don't care. They took my spot, or they're doing. I'm like, why is he driving like that? This, like, those. Yes, you wish you could say things without zero consequences, right? But those that's all just fun and jokes to us. But like in a family setting, like with your family, there are some things that you do wish you can say out loud without zero consequences, right?
There's always every single day. I feel like I want to say something. Even like, 'cause I work in dental. Even with like patients, sometimes patients like, oh my god, I sometimes want to say stuff, but I'm like, I cannot say this right now. Like, I gotta bite my tongue right now.
Dude, us all the time. Okay, working in healthcare, there are stuff like this is okay. This is aside from family, but like in a work setting, there are stuff that we wish we can say out loud, but we know we can't because we will get in trouble.
We'll lose our jobs.
Yes, we will. But the same comes into a family in your household, right? Like as women, we even guys, just anybody in the household, we tend to hold things back. We're like, you know what? Is it worth saying it? You know, there are certain things that, you know, in anyone's household that you don't like. You don't like messes. Like I hate messes. If you pick something up, put it back where it belongs, right?
I know some people like that.
But there are like those are the small things, and you just let it go because I'm like something will be out of place that like they're like, oh yeah, Harpy's gonna pick it up, right? So I'll just move it back because I know I'm OCD like that, right? I hate things misplaced, right? And I don't like messes. But you know, living in like a multifamily, like you have so many people living in the household, you have to adjust to those things, right? I keep my space clean, I keep my house clean, and they know that, right? Everyone knows that. Yes, I find Legos everywhere, and I get angry, and I just tell my little nephew, like, if this Lego isn't picked up, it's going in the trash next time I sweep, right? So you better pick it up if you want to keep it. But those are just fun things. But on like the serious side of stuff, I feel like if we want to say something, we kind of turn to our spouses.
I feel like we let it out on them, and then our spouses sometimes don't know what to do. Like, they don't want to get put in the middle because, like, whose side are they going to take?
Yeah, or you try to suggest, hey, can you ask so and so maybe if they can do this next time, or can they do maybe not like throw their clothes over there or something like you trying to you kind of say, hey, can you be the middle person without me having to tell them? Can you tell them in your own way?
But I feel like guys, they're like, I don't know, they're straight up, I don't even know if they could do that.
I know.
I feel like we'd have to write a script for them.
I mean, if we have to, we have to. Okay. But no, it does feel like, yeah, but like what I mean is like, is there something that you keep inside, like an opinion that you keep from everyone else, like to yourself?
I always keep something from an opinion. I just keep it to myself because I'm like, nah, I'd rather not say it because then I feel like I'm going to regret it.
But there's only one way to find out.
Yeah, I'm the type of person not cause any argument or upset anyone. I'm trying to keep everyone happy. So then even with like friends and stuff like that, like sometimes I won't be brutally honest with them. If they ask me, "Oh, how does my outfit look?" Like, I don't want to hurt their feelings because what if they're like, "Oh my god, like I really love how I look today," but then their outfit doesn't look nice. I don't want to be like, "Nah, it doesn't look nice."
No, no, I get what you mean, right? But then if someone, that's when you say, like, do you want me to lie or tell you the truth? That's what I was trying. If they say no, I want the truth. Like, to be honest, for you, you may like this outfit, but me personally, I don't.
Yeah, and then that's where I
Right?
don't want
I
any.
word it that way. Like, you may like the color or the design. You may think it's nice, but personally, I do not.
For the event we're going to, it does not look like appropriate. Like it's not.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't fit the
yeah. You
event.
kind of just have to word it differently, right? And then I feel like for myself, like with opinions, like I sometimes dwell, like I sit on them for a while, and like, should I say it? Should I not? Should I bring it up? And a couple of days later, then also I'll just like build myself up, and or I'll ask somebody, like, hey, I kind of want to say this. Like, should I say it? And they're like, oh yeah, you can. I've done that. I've done that with friends too, and I've sometimes told friends and family like my own opinion, how I'm feeling, like what I'm going through, but sometimes it just backfires.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I feel like sometimes, like to be honest, in my phone, I in my notes section, I write things down so I don't forget. Like, what if I like want to say this or like you get what I
I
mean?
get
Like,
what, okay, the reason why I'm having this big smile on my face at you on this is you say you have nose. Okay, I'm such an idiot. Okay, this is how dumb I can be sometimes. I literally downloaded a diary app on my phone and I just started writing. Like, people journal because they write it out,
that's a good idea though.
right? I was like, okay, I'm not going to carry a book around with me all the time. So I just downloaded this and I put a password on it. I forgot the password. Okay, now I can't even get into it. But what I did, I would literally just start journaling in it. And I would write down my opinions, my thoughts in there.
I feel like journaling is such a good way of letting everything out. Like you just say stuff, but that journal cannot get out. Like
Because if somebody found it, then yeah,
we have an issue there.
then we have a problem. But I mean, no, like I've always been taught, like, stick up for yourself. Like you said, I'm very blunt and straightforward. And yes, it can bite me in the butt sometimes when I am straightforward, but it's like, well, that's just my personality. I'm not gonna soften myself just because you're soft
Yeah, I
and
agree.
you don't have a backbone. I'm sorry.
Like growing up, my dad always taught me like don't let anyone disrespect you. Always stand up for
Yep.
yourself. Like he taught me that, and I think I kind of learned like I won't say like if someone says something rude to me, like I'll say I'll talk to my husband about it. But before like I got married, I would talk to like my parents about it, and then I'd be like, "Okay, what do you think I should do?" I kind of would get their opinion because I'm like they're older, they know
Yeah.
more.
But okay, that's what you used to do, right?
Yeah.
But now, okay, even if you go to our men, it's usually over their heads.
My husband doesn't say anything.
Yeah, it's over their heads, and they don't even know what you're talking about. So I feel like we do. How do I want to word this? Like, you just, I feel like you just have to be straightforward, right? I know I've done it, and I told you this before. Like, I've done it with people where I'm just straightforward, and it bit me in the butt. But I'm one of those people, like, if they think, okay, she's being rude or they're taking it the wrong way, that's on them. Like, at least I got out how I was feeling, how my opinions were, what I'm going through and feeling right now. And if you, as a person, can't see that, then where's this friendship going?
Maybe that person shouldn't be in your life then at this point.
There are people I've cut out. I'll be honest.
Yeah, like if they can't handle it, then they shouldn't be in your
Nope.
life.
No, because there are, you build not only with family, with friends, you build all these relationships that you can voice your opinion to, or you are able to share things without any consequences. But then when they start firing back in the wrong way, you're just like, well, no, I thought, you knew what I'm like and you know what I'm going through and this is what I'm trying to express to you. but now you're turning everything around on me. Well,
I know people who are like that. Like,
oh, so many.
they try to be the bigger person and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then you're just like, you know what? It's not worth my time. Simple. It's not worth it. You're like, you know what? Move on.
I have better things to do than deal with
Exactly.
their drama.
Exactly. You said your piece. That's it. All right. If that's how it's going to be, that's what we're leaving it as, right? And it's fine.
So, like, you know how, like, we're expressing ourselves. I know some people get, like, therapists after they go through, like, a major thing or stuff like that.
I'll be honest, I did.
Yeah, and then it's just like, how come we can't just express ourselves? Why are we going out there? I'm not saying therapists are bad, they're good things. Why are we going out to spend hundreds of dollars on a therapist just to rant to them?
But
But we cannot express ourselves sometimes, like, in front of other family, like, if something's bothering us.
yeah, because in our society we're not taught to express ourselves like to anybody. We're express, oh, you just keep it in and you let it go. But I feel like, I'll be honest, I did go to therapy, and I feel like they give you the tools on how you can express yourself to family and friends, right? Instead, because sometimes like we said, we try to express something and it gets misunderstood. Whereas when yes, you have a professional, you're just talking to them, but they give you certain tools on how to express yourself.
That's why they go to school for 4 years, because
Yeah.
they're trying to teach us how to express ourselves. Yeah, I know growing up we were never taught by our parents, family, but like we all went to like Canadian schools, and like I know in school they do say like express yourself and stuff like that, but it still doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. You're absolutely right. Because sometimes like we said, you can express the wrong way. But these people give you, in therapy, you learn how to voice your opinion. They give you like, even if you don't want to talk to somebody, like you don't want to express to your family, they give you tools on how you can do it in writing in a book, like you said, journaling, or they do like little exercises, and I've done them. I'll just be at home by myself and I'll just do the little exercises they've given me, and it literally just getting the words out on a piece of paper helps.
I agree. Like it helps like 100%. Like get your feelings out there. Like you don't want to bottle everything in, like because you're just gonna lash out one day. Like I know, like we kind of went this previous episode, like losing my dad. Like
Yep.
I was like in utter shock when I lost him, but then like it came out the day of the funeral.
Exactly, because you're in such shock.
Yeah.
Your body hasn't processed it yet.
Yeah.
And then when it finally hits you is when you just let it all out,
Yeah.
right? And I've gone that too. Like I told you this before. Like I've had 2 miscarriages, in second trimester, and going through that different grieving process is so hard because you don't know how to express or say things to anybody. You're so angry inside that when you're talking to somebody, it just comes out as anger.
So do you think maybe saying less keeps the peace between everyone, or do you think like no, we should express more, say more?
I think we should express more and say more, because if we keep holding, I know if like you said you do this too and I do this too, is that when we keep holding things in, it hurts us even more in the long run, right? It's putting an effect on yourself, on your mental health, on your body. If you're not letting it out, yes, it may offend somebody, so be it.
But the other person does have to listen too if you're letting it out, because you're
yes.
putting that energy out there. They should listen. Be like, okay, this person's talking now. I had my chance to talk. Now let them talk.
Yeah, you're not there for them to judge you. You're not there to cause an argument. You're just there for them to say, hey, look, these are the things that are bothering me. I just need to let them out. I don't need any opinions. I don't need suggestions on how to fix it. I just want to let it out. That's it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I feel like nowadays, like, things have to change in our society, like, especially our culture. Like, I know the older generation, like, they want things a certain way, but they gotta understand, like, us new generations, like, we are gonna speak our mind. We are gonna express our feelings out. Like, you gotta listen at this point.
Absolutely. And we should be able to say things without fear and without any arguments.
You don't want to be living in fear. That's the main thing.
Exactly. You don't. right? Because it's, how are you going to keep moving forward? Let's just say, yeah, you are going, like you said, you lost your dad, your brother, I lost my babies, right? We're going through all these traumatic things, and if we keep all that stuff inside,
we're gonna like burst one day. Like
something could happen to us.
Burst, and then it's gonna ruin your relationship with your family and your spouse.
Yeah, because you're going to be constantly be angry. They're going to think, oh, she's always so angry. Why? And then you're trying to express, like, this is what's bothering me. I'm still grieving. I'm trying to go through all these grieving process, because when you're grieving, you go through so many different stages.
I feel like sometimes people don't understand, like, yeah, you lost someone. Like, okay, the funeral happened. Okay, it's been like 2-3 months. Okay, they should be better. No, it takes time. Like, it takes like, for my dad, it took me a solid year. And then for my brother, it's been what, 5 months now? I'm going on 6 months. So, like, still fresh in my mind.
Yeah, of course. And, even if it's been a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, there's people out there that are still grieving 20, 30 years later, right? Grieving does not have a timeline.
What I always say, it's like, you don't know what the other person's going through until you go through that same thing.
Exactly.
Like, you're not gonna know what they're going through. You may have a better life, or like you have everything, but what about the other person?
Yeah, and I've learned, my husband has even said this to me. He's like, I agree with it to some extent. Like, sometimes you put in so much energy for people. Like, you give them, you're there for them. You do everything for them. You listen to them. You're that friend, right? But then when you need it in return, they're not there. But he's like, you can't expect that from everybody,
because they don't know what you're going through. Like, I agree with that. Like, it is true.
I do too, to some extent, but it's like, okay, well, if I'm there for them going through their hard time or their good time, why can't somebody be there for me when on my tough time?
Yeah,
Why
that's
does it
true.
always just have to be the happy times you're there for people?
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that part.
Right? So, I gotta say, like, at the end of the day, I think we all have things we wish we could say out loud. We just don't always know how to say them. Whether it's fear of hurting people, starting conflict, or just trying to keep the peace, sometimes staying quiet feels easier, but holding everything in all the time can get heavy too. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of Jaw, Chaos, and Chill. If anything we talk about today felt relatable, send this episode to someone who'd understand. And don't forget to follow, subscribe. We've got plenty more Jaw, Chaos, and conversation coming. Until next time, say what you feel, or at least text it to your best friend first. Bye.
Bye.